You know, Super Bowl Sunday is just days away. Stephen A. and Mad Dog are in New Orleans right now. Andrew Hawkins drew the short end of the stick, and he's here with me at the Seaport. But nonetheless, the Eagles and the Chiefs are going to face off in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years. These versions different, of course, probably better defensively all around. But I'm going to go to you first here, Hawk.
Yeah.
Which team do you think has the advantage? Pretty simple, and why?
Yeah, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, look, if I took just on paper, if I was dropped on the planet Earth today, and they said, hey, here's the 2024 season, who has the better chance to win? I would pick the Eagles on paper, but that's not a reality because I have the context of living in the Patrick Mahomes era. And when Patrick Mahomes is on your team, you always have the advantage. The Kansas City Chiefs played in one AFC championship game before Patrick Mahomes comes there. He's now played in 7. So you've seen throughout the season and through his career, if the game is tight and it's within one score, Patrick Mahomes will be able to do enough to get them over the hump, so it is hard to pick against them.
How do you argue that, Stephen A.?
I can argue it in a variety of ways. Good to see you, Hawk, man. Good to see
you too, brother.
Here's the deal, y'all. The Philadelphia Eagles, collectively, you look at them as being the better team. We know they don't have Patrick Mahomes. We understand that's the X factor. We concede that because he's the greatest in the game. But I looked up some numbers, Hawk. Let me throw this at you and Doggy. You do know that according to Pro Football Focus, the Philadelphia Eagles have the #1 offensive line in the National Football League. You have seen that dude, Saquon Barkley, rush for 2,000 yards this season. It's not like we're asking Jalen Hurts to be the one to deliver the goods against Patrick Mahomes, even though he does need to play well, and I believe he will. But I looked up this number right here, guys. Do you know that the Philadelphia Eagles starting offensive line, Doggy, stands an average of 6'6", 338 pounds? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? I mean, imagine it, but I'm giving you the numbers here. 6'6", 300, and that's the meat and potato brothers right there. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they eat for breakfast. You understand? Steak and potatoes. They eat cows for crying out loud. I mean, this is who they are, right? So we got that going on. That is an average of 26 pounds heavier than their Kansas City Chiefs counterparts. So I'm thinking about Saquon, and I'm thinking about that massive offensive line, and I'm saying to myself, what's the best possible formula you could utilize to neutralize Patrick Mahomes? How about keeping them on the sidelines? Who's capable of doing that? It's Philadelphia Eagles. Because you can run the ball on them. And so I look at it from that standpoint, and I say Kansas City has his work cut out for them. We understand that Jalen Hurts could be suspect at times against the blitz. We know that Spagnola's going to bring the rain whenever possible. We know what he brings to the table. But Saquon Barkley is that X factor because that offensive line is a huge factor. And that is what I'm looking at with the Eagles. Yes, your scoring defense is #2. Your total defense is #1. Third and third down defense. And fifth and red zone defense. We can't ignore all of that from the Philadelphia Eagles and Vic Fangio's defense. But I'm thinking about their offensive line and the holes they're going to plug and how that's going to work to Philadelphia's advantage. That's where I'm coming from, Doggy.
Well, listen, Steve, you're going to lose money, Mahomes. I mean, there's a reason why he's won, 17 one-possession games in a row. I think if you're betting against the Chiefs, you're making a mistake. Now, I'm not saying that Philadelphia can't win a game. I understand that. But push comes to shove. Are you going to take Mahomes or are you going to take Hurts? You're going to take Mahomes. When push comes to shove, are you going to take Kellen Moore or are you going to take Steve Spagnuolo? One of the great defensive coordinators of this or any era. You're going to take Spagnuolo. Offense, defense. And if push comes to shove, are you taking Sirianni or are you taking Andy Reid? You're taking Reid. So the Chiefs have the advantage at quarterback, at defensive coordinator against the Eagle offense, which means Barkley doesn't go crazy, and as the head coach. And I throw this in the mix, too. You don't think Andy Reid likes beating the Eagles? Laurie threw him out the door with the dishwater. Threw him out. We don't want it anymore. He beat him again. You don't think Andy Reid likes to beat the Eagles? He's a professional.
Let me tell you something.
Thrown out the door.
Let me tell you something.
You don't want to beat Laurie?
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something about Doggy, okay? Doggy is an absolute expert at losing money. He loses money all the time. So when he talks to you about you're gonna lose your money betting on Mahomes, well, I would say you're losing money betting with Doggy. You understand? Wherever the direction he's gonna go the opposite. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Go ahead, Home.
Well, listen, first off, that blue wide peak lapel suit you got on, Stephen A., is clean as a board of health. That needs to be addressed, number one.
Thank you.
Number two, I like your stat about the average size of the offensive line, but if size was all that mattered, the elephant would be the king of the jungle, Stephen A. Okay? Lastly, I'm going to read some stats for you for Patrick Mahomes. He's the only quarterback in NFL history with a winning record when his team is down 10 or more points. That's a ridiculous stat and shows that he's never out of it.
True.
The max amount of playoff wins Patrick Mahomes could have in his career at this point is 22. He has 17. Ridiculous stat. Now into the Super Bowl. Indoor games in his career, 15-0. Oh. So when you have him with no elements, you are seeing the best version of Patrick Mahomes. And lastly, Vic Fangio-led defenses against Patrick Mahomes, 0-8. So as much as I respect that maybe Doggy isn't the best better, Doggy, I'm not going to put that on you, Mad Dog. But when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, they could have an advantage at 21 of the 22 positions. But wherever 15 is, his team is the team to beat.
You got me on that last one. I didn't know that Vic Fangio's defense was 0-8 versus Patrick Mahomes. You got me with that one. That's a really, really good one. So, eight, no, right? So I guess listen, there's a first time for everything. A dead clock is right twice a day. I mean, there's a first time for everything, okay? All I'm saying to you is this. Let Patrick Mahomes get down double digits in this game. They ain't coming back. He get down double digits in this one, it's not going to happen. This is the one game. It's not going to happen. Not with that offensive line. I don't see that happening. So, again, can Patrick Mahomes can beat anybody. But you better not give up a cushion like you have in the past. I don't think that's going to work this time.
I just don't see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl where they've been so good giving up double-digit points. But, hey, guess we will see. All right, it's time for Mad Dog's.
Of watching unprecedented greatness? You're tired of watching a player that someday we're going to talk about with the greatest players that ever lived in any sport? You're tired of watching a big, lovable teddy bear of a coach and Travis Kelce was basically Rob Gronkowski reincarnate? D-Wood, help me with this. I don't understand all of the backlash.
It's easy. It's like what you had said in the meeting, boy. About the
you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, Batman, right?
It's really that simple. I mean, listen.
Yep.
I was part of a dynasty. First we were the Q story.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you just keep winning. It's like, damn, I'm tired. Why the Patriots got to win all the time? That's where we are as a society. Look at that big fella right there. Right. I mean, we were just a Q story going up against
the greatest on turf that we got tired of.
A lot of people.
The grocery store.
They looked at the greatest on turf like, okay, that's a dynasty. Yep. Then we come along. I just think that as a society, we always infatuate with what's next. What's the new toy that we could be talking about instead of just looking at, just admiring what we're watching with our own eyes right now with Patrick Mahomes and his Chiefs team.
I get excited about the Chiefs because it's like people get bored with it, and I get excited about the greatness. Like, we've never seen anybody win 3 in a row. That means for as much incredible coaching as we've had in this league, as many incredible players, nobody has been able to put together 3 championships in a row. And it does play to their greatness. If they win this, they're the best dynasty in NFL history. I mean, you look at the amount of AFC championships they've been a part of, the amount of Super Bowls.
Well,
they're what?
Modern day history, I would say.
Yes, in modern day history.
Free agency.
I'm a millennial. That's kind of all I consider.
Rosters change fast and stuff because the 70 Steelers won 4 and that not 3 in a row.
The Steelers of the 70s won 4 out of 6 Super Bowls. The Chiefs right now are in their 5th Super Bowl in a 6-season span and could be on the verge of winning their 4th. The dynasty that would eclipse it would be what the Packers did in the 60s, the Lombardi Packers. But that's an entirely different era. We don't consider that modern football. Right. The dynasties that we would be talking about in this context are the Steelers of the 70s, the Niners of the 80s, the Cowboys of the 90s, and then sort of 2 different iterations of the Patriots, right? There was the early ones, the teams D-Wood was on, and then the later ones, they made 3 straight Super Bowls, and it was the Eagles in the middle who kept them from three-peating.
But we hated all those, right? Everybody got tired of it, right? Listen, nobody wants to see John Wick 6. You know what I mean? It's all good, man. And nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to know the ending of the story, right? We like to be surprised with the ending, and that's what we're talking about. So when you look at this dynasty, yes, it is a dynasty, but like we're just tired of saying we want the underdog. Americans love the underdog, and at some point, every one of these dynasties were the underdog.
But here's the thing: it's one thing to be rooting against them, which I would understand. People would root against those teams and that kind of stuff. And I myself find myself rooting against them. I'd like to see some of these other. I wanted to see Lamar win it. I wanted to see Allen win it. But it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to say, I can't even stand watching them anymore.
Yes.
There is a sentiment out there, and that's what I'm trying to get to.
Because how many fan bases have had their dreams crushed during this dynasty by the Chiefs? So you building your haters up.
But how many fan bases were crushed by Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the 90s?
Me.
They didn't hate him. I was there. People didn't stop watching them. They drew more people watched that than ever watched anything.
No, Scottie Pippen's my cousin. I cried in the car. I hated him. I wanted him to lose. He's family.
but I'm telling you, I was with those teams. Jordan would get standing ovations on the road routinely, not in the finals.
Mahomes gets some all-time shoes that I'm going to rock for 20 years, and I like him too.
I think what's underappreciated is their football because they're so in your face in so many other ways. When you think of those Patriot dynasties, what they're known for is do your job. Football is the only thing that matters. I said it in the pre-show, but the Chiefs are the Patriots with more media availability and better marketing agents. And it's like when you think of them, you don't just think of football. You think of Taylor Swift. You think of the commercials. You think of State Farm.
All right, Chiefs Kingdom, picture this. We're just days away from Super Bowl 59. The Kansas City Chiefs are on the brink of making history with a three-peat, and all eyes are glued to Patrick Mahomes, ready to see if he can cement his legacy as one of the greatest. Everything seemed perfect, right? But then, boom, an unexpected bombshell drops, shaking the team to its core. What happened? A shocking scandal has erupted behind the scenes, and it's left fans and experts alike scrambling for answers. Just when we thought nothing could derail the Chiefs' momentum, this news has everyone questioning if the team can stay focused. But let me ask you, do you think this scandal could actually affect the Chiefs' performance in the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see who can predict what's really going on before we dive into the juicy details. So, what's the scoop? Reports suggest that a key player is at the center of this controversy. While details are still unfolding, insider sources hint at possible violations of team policies or off-field behavior that's causing major distractions. Could this involve someone like Kareem Hunt, who's already had a roller coaster journey with the Chiefs? The timing couldn't be worse. With the Super Bowl right around the corner, any off-field drama can shake team chemistry. But remember, this team has been through adversity before and come out stronger. What do you think, Chiefs Kingdom? Is this just media hype, or is there real trouble brewing? Sound off in the comments and let's get your take. Now, let's talk about leadership. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have been the heart and soul of this dynasty. Mahomes, with his unmatched poise, and Reid, with his tactical genius, have guided the Chiefs through thick and thin. But can even they keep the team locked in amidst this scandal? Mahomes has a history of stepping up under pressure. Remember his comeback against the 49ers in Super Bowl 54? But this is different. It's not just about the game. It's about keeping the locker room united. Do you believe Mahomes and Reid can steer the ship through this storm? Let's hear your confidence level in the comments below. While the Chiefs are dealing with internal drama, the Philadelphia Eagles are sharpening their claws. They're hungry for revenge after their Super Bowl 57 loss and see this scandal as an opportunity to capitalize on any Chiefs distraction. With Vic Fangio leading the defense and an offensive line that's an absolute powerhouse, the Eagles are ready to strike. If the Chiefs are even slightly off their game, Philly will be there to take advantage. So, Chiefs fans, are you worried about the Eagles gaining the upper hand, or do you think Kansas City's resilience will shine through? Vote in our poll and let's see where the confidence stands. At the end of the day, the big question is, can the Chiefs rise above this scandal and make history with a three-peat? This team has faced plenty of obstacles, but nothing quite like this, right before the biggest game of the year. It's more than just football now. It's about legacy, leadership, and the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. Will this scandal be a footnote in their historic run, or will it be the stumbling block that derailed their dynasty? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you're riding with the Chiefs no matter what, smash that like button and subscribe for more updates as we count down to the Super Bowl. Let's go, Chiefs!